Hello, I'm excited to be with you this week and share a new transmission straight from my heart with a little bit of spice, I have to admit, just a little bit of heat. Oh my gosh, you guys, I had a moment today, and I'm really going to talk about authenticity and being who you're meant to be. And I'm going to share a story that might be really triggering. Okay, I'm just going to say it. Depending on your belief systems, I'm not here to try and convince anybody of anything except to share my truth. And ever since I moved to Boise, Idaho, I've been really open to just meeting new groups of women, doing different things. And one of my friends had invited me to go to this Christians women's group. And if you don't know this about me, I grew up going to Catholic school from kindergarten through my senior year. So, but one of the beautiful things about my high school in Sacramento, it's a pretty famous high school. The director of like the Barbie movie went there and stuff. Is that they taught world religion, and I just fell in love. So you guys, I'm a Sagittarius stellium, first of all. North Node, Sagittarius Sun, Moon, and my Neptune is there. And this is going to be a little bit about astrology, by the way. That's the trigger point. So, first of all, if you're new to me, I'm just diving in. My name is Donnell Davis. I am a channel, a healer, a transformational mentor who specializes in helping my clients heal forward so they can become their future selves right now, in the here and now, not in the out there sometime, someday. So you can have the love and the success, all the things that you want now. Now. Okay, so anyways, back to my story. So I went, high school all these years, and I have a beautiful fascination with religion. I am not a particular religion. I am so spiritual. And I study Kabbalah, and I have studied Christianity, I've studied Buddhism. But I'm very open-minded enough that I can go to a Christian women's group because, I mean, obviously, I went to Catholic school my whole life. I know a lot about the Bible. I used to teach a Bible study in junior high. And just to say it, my work is deeply spiritual. What I teach my clients to do is have a unshakable relationship with God, source, divine, and to trust their inner wisdom, their soul, the reason why they're here, to trust their desires, and that is the way that your soul wants to expand through the very things that you want. It's going to take you on a journey, a path forward if you say yes to those desires, and it's going to teach you how to become the person that can have those things. And that is how we learn and shift our frequency. And it's really fun. It's really fun. Sometimes there's hardship in there, but it's really fun to become the vibrational match to what you want. And I really believe that God did not place those things in your heart if it wasn't for the fact that God believes you can have those things. It's just that we limit ourselves. Okay, so that's a whole nother story. So, anyways, this morning I was at my Christian women's group, and there I sit with a table of women that are so nice. They're lovely women. I just think they're amazing. And I was essentially sitting there, and one of the gals got up to speak, and she was talking about the type of people that they're she was talking about your kids and who your kids hang out with, and how certain kids are just bad kids. And that's I've noticed something happens to me when I'm in these situations where I'm hearing things that are really hard for me to process. And I'm like, are there really bad kids? Or is it just that they have parents that don't know how to parent them? And is it the kids' fault that they are quote unquote bad? Okay, so that was the first thing. And then she was talking about, especially if you have a friend that's into astrology, that's like associated with the devil. Okay, this is news to me. Maybe I've just been hiding under a rock. And those of you who are on my channel, you probably follow me because I talk a lot about astrology and all the things. And if you didn't like it, you wouldn't be here, right? So, but it really made me kind of go, wait. things that make you go, like I really had to stop and be like, wait, wait, did I just hear that? And then I had to make a joke to my friend who invited me into the group, who one of the things that we have a passion for and love for is astrology. And we talk about it all the time. So I texted her and I said, oh my God, I think today must be the day that everybody's going to perform an exorcism on me because I love astrology. So I was having a good time making fun of it, but I decided in that moment, I'm not there to disrupt what other people believe. That's not why I'm there. I'm there because I was there to make friends that are also just nice people. Okay. I'm very open. I'm telling you, I'm very open-minded. And I'm not judging Christianity or anything. I think Christianity is beautiful. And there's a lot of people in the Treasure Valley where I live in Boise that are Christian. This isn't about Christianity in of itself. It's about being judgmental, number one. and and I don't know, maybe astrology is against the Bible, but I don't know of a God that can't coexist with a way to support ourselves and learning more about who we really are. And if you use astrology as a crutch, that's on you, right? It shouldn't be a crutch. It should just be a system, a structure that supports you in understanding some of the transits, some of the lessons that you have in this life. It's fascinating for psychology. It's beautiful for your spirituality, but it's really what you make of it. So no thing outside of you should be your idol or something that you give more power to than you would give to God. I mean, that's a no-brainer. Okay. Like anything that you're giving, drugs, sex, alcohol, a person, anything that you're giving more power to outside of yourself than your relationship with the divine is going to be a problem. Okay. But this isn't about whether I'm not trying to debate if it's in the Bible or not. Like, I don't know. And I frankly, I don't care. Not because I don't believe that the Bible is beautiful. I love the Bible, but the Bible has been rewritten so many times and translated, and we have to remember we live in a world where people want to have control and power over you. And the Bible is a beautiful way to study spirituality, just as the Zohar is, just as all these different spiritual texts. Okay. But here's the thing is that when it comes to all of these things, the deeper question is, when you even think about something like this, because I know there's this like whole new age divide between Christianity and new age. And I don't even consider myself new age. Like if anything, I'm spiritual and I just am very deeply entrenched in psychology and I understand spirituality on a very deep level, but I'm not new age. But yeah, I love me some oracle cards sometimes. I read tarot sometimes for funsies. I don't need to do it to channel, but the meaning that we're giving to things and the way we're interpreting things really creates our reality. And if something is evil or scary when actually it's just a tool, then that is kind of an interesting thing to me. But the whole reason I'm sharing this is not to get into necessarily a debate about this, because I am not trying to convince anybody of me being right or wrong. What I'm trying to show is that, well, one, I can have respect for other people's differing opinions. But it was interesting because one of my friends in the group, she's like the mentor at the table. She asked me what I thought of the talk. And I said, well, I thought it was great, except for the fact that, she was really saying that astrology is so terrible. And I'm like, I have found it incredibly useful. Like, I love it. I love the seasonality. I love the energy of it. I love how it has supported me in my life. And she looked at me and I could feel her like sphincter tighten. Like she like really, I know I'm being a little crass, but I can feel people's energy. And it was like, whoop, like she got like really like uptight and she and she was like, um, you are you need to pray about this. Like no, it's in the Bible, it's wrong. And I'm like, I don't need somebody to tell to override the truth that I know in my soul. And here's the thing. I'm not discounting the Bible, but I don't even know if it is in the Bible or not. It's not about the Bible. This is about your own agency and authority. And I'm going to and what I really want to talk about is your ability to be your authentic self. So I had a choice in that moment to either kind of succumb and be like, oh yeah, I'm just going to keep my mouth shut and just be like, oh yeah, it was such a great talk. I think everything's so hunky dory about it. No, I didn't. It offended me actually, but I don't really care enough to like, I'm not going to make a big thing about it. But I was honest with her and just told her. And so her response to me was kind of like, I'm the one with the problem. Okay, no problem. Like, I understand I'm in your guys' territory as a visitor, right? Like I'm in their territory as a visitor, so I'm not going to make a big stink about it. But it brought up a deeper question and something that I want to share with you, my friends in the audience here, is where do you draw the line with your authenticity? And as a healer, as somebody who, like, if you're in this, whether, God, you could be a real estate agent or you could be a teacher or whatever, there are times to keep our personal beliefs to ourselves. Like when COVID-19 was happening and all the things, I never got vaccinated. And nobody knew that about me because I didn't need to tell, it was nobody's business. And I did it because my intuition told me not to. And now all the studies are coming out. And I'm like, yeah, that is exactly why I didn't do it. Because I knew in the deep depths of my soul that was a no-no. And that was a thing where like I didn't need to tell people what I was doing. I didn't tell people what they should do. I really helped them see the truth for themselves. And I'm very good at that. But there are times in your life where you have to decide in your personal life. And since I do teach, you have to decide like what is it that you're going to, what is it that you believe in? And are you willing to show up in that even if somebody else disagrees with you? And can you have a discourse where it's healthy and it's okay? Like, yeah, so my friend told me you should pray over it. It's like, okay, I can, but I'm pretty clear, about how I feel about astrology. It's something I've been studying since for at least 15 years. I mean, this is not like a new thing for me. And so I'm not really conflicted about it. And I'm not really conflicted about who I am. And this is what I really want you to hear is that it's okay if not everybody agrees with you. It's okay if you have something that you love and maybe your best friend doesn't. There should be enough space and room in life for people to disagree. And it's okay. But this is something where when I moved here, I left behind a huge community of friends. And I'm a leader in community. I'm a leader in the way I live my life, and I just have that kind of energy. I walk in a room and I'm a leader. I'm not a follower. Never have been. And so in San Diego, I never had to really explain myself because I've had friends for all these years and I've had, clients and community. And now that I'm in this new place, almost like it'll be 2 years in December, I'm still finding my people, right? I'm still finding my people and I'm very open-minded. And it just reminded me that I don't need to edit who I am. Like, if they still want to love me, despite the fact that I like astrology, great. If they cannot love me because I teach it and I post about it, that's okay too. I can still love them from afar. So I think as you get into your wisdom years, as I'm going to call it, like as you get older, we have these energies in our, when we're younger, where we're trying to people please and we're trying to maybe be a chameleon for somebody else. And then you get to a certain point in your life where you're like, not my freaking problem. Like, no, I don't need to do that. Like, this is the thing, you guys, don't dim your light. Don't dim your light for anybody. Be who you want to be in this life. You can't become your future self, which I'm always talking, my teaching is always about embodying your future self. So my future self, every time I see her, she's, wildly confident, express, she's sharing her heart, she's doing all the things. And that's actually my compass words. I have compass words that I'm working with, and one of them is express, which is why I'm doing this video. And I wouldn't I wouldn't be becoming my future self right now if I didn't share and be authentic to who I am. Because I could easily hide and not have to say anything at all. But my medicine that I want to deliver to others when I'm as a healer, as a space holder, is permission to be your authentic self. Not because you and I agree, but because you have enough self-respect and you love yourself enough that you're okay with the discord that can happen if you don't always agree with somebody else. And it begs the question of, on a deeper level, when you're stepping into your authentic self, is what is your truth? Do you know what your truth is? Is it so malleable? Because certain parts of it should, certain things in life should be malleable, but truth, if you're talking about it, like my definition of truth is something that you know inside your body because you've already lived it. You've lived it, you know it, you feel it, you've experienced it. It doesn't mean that it can't change over time, but it's something that you're not just basing it off of intellectual knowledge, you're basing it off of a deeper understanding. I didn't come into this work and just start teaching this stuff. Well, I had to learn along the way, is what I was going to say. And intellectually, when I came to this work, I understood it up here, but I had to go through all the shadow work and do all the things. And this type of being your authentic self does bring up your shadows. And we are in Scorpio season starting today. And so it does. It makes you go, oh gosh, well, oh, I wonder, like if I'm a bad person because I think no, your shadow work is there because you should explore the shadows. You should explore those parts of you in the past that have been complicit to bending and breaking and self-betraying yourself so that you can be liked or loved. Maybe you don't have that issue, but I did. I for sure did. I was in a relationship for 8.5 years where I held my tongue and I didn't always respect myself in the way I should because it's a long story, but it was a very challenging situation. And I promised myself I would never do it. And then when I moved here, I was like, I am not going to make friendships based on, trying to edit myself for other people. Like this is who I am and I'm going to love myself. And if I have two friends or 10 or whatever it may be, that's okay. Because I already know I'm loved. I already have tons of friends and different things. And so I want you to step into loving yourself because the ability to be authentic is to know who you are. It's to understand your truth. It's to do shadow work on yourself all the time because sometimes telling yourself the truth is painful. Because sometimes there's parts where we're lying to ourselves, right? We all have that. And then looking at the things that you hold true. And sometimes they're going to change over time because you're going to have a new life experience. So, of course, have some flexibility and be malleable and be open-minded and all the things. I very much practice that. But there are some things that they're non-negotiable. So my question to you is, if you were to set yourself in a new town or city or go to like a new group, that you're a new book club or a mastermind or something that you're in, can you be your authentic self? Like, are you willing to show up for yourself and be truthful, or are you dimming your light because you're so concerned about being liked? And so much of being a space holder, a healer, is that you're not doing this work for validation. You're doing it because you love to do it and you want to support humanity to heal and to come back home to themselves. And that's going to look different for everybody. So my job here on this planet is not to convince people of my beliefs. It's to help them come back to their own. And the only way that can happen is if I am a clear mirror, in the sense that I know who I am. Of course, I'm always growing and evolving, but to this day, I know who I am. And then that transmission can support other people in seeing themselves too. So I do have something really fun for healers. I have a master class. It's a webinar that I'm going to be doing on 11/11. It's Future Healer Now. So I'm going to be teaching, it's a little mini mastermind that I'm going to be leading starting in late November, but I want to teach about how healers, like I know the ways that healers hide, they procrastinate, they don't charge their worth. I've been a healer for over 20 years, and I want to support healers and really showing up in their gifts and embodying their future self now. Their future self, not as just a healer, but as a change agent, as somebody who's here as an authority, who's in their authenticity, who's willing to show up and be fully expressed so they can attract in the clients that want that too. So if you're interested in that, just put healer in the comments and I will send you the link to sign up for it. And as well, if you're looking to go on a journey of really becoming your authentic self and you want to heal the ways and the blocks and all the things that are keeping you from it, message me. We can start with a session. I always am offering coaching packages. I hope you have a beautiful day and I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. I'll see you guys again soon.